But what we teach is not about drugs and choices as much as what we teach is lifestyle, how you live your life. And even for adults tonight, you'll learn some things maybe that can help you live your life a better way. And the reason we have to do it is because we really don't teach lifestyle or measure lifestyle in our society. We just sort of let people make one up. And I look at a lot of kids nowadays, the source of how they make up their lifestyle is what they see. What they see, and the majority of what they see now is television and internet and so forth. And that has a huge impact on the things they think they want to be involved in, and sometimes the things that they are involved in. The most unfortunate part now in our society, and you probably don't know this, I sit on many governmental agencies now as a consultant to the federal government, is that the age at which kids first try alcohol now in our society is 11.9 years old for boys, 13.1 years old for girls. And by the time they're a freshman in high school, they have 5 drinking episodes every month, which pretty much means once a week on a Friday or Saturday night. That's from the Underage Drinking Enforcement Training Center for the federal government. So there's choices to be made, choices about lots of things you do. And this program's not just about drugs. It's about lifestyle decisions, even things like your diet, nutrition. We've given the Power Back diet to the athletic people and the prevention people from the school district. If you parents want to know those food sources and nutritional sources that provide your young student athlete with the most energy or power back from what they take in their system, and I'm not just talking mental or physical performance, I'm talking mental performance, read the Power Back diet. It's pretty powerful. There was a guy from Russia, his name was Matviev. He made the most profound statements ever made about sport, but they're also about life. Here's one of them. He said, the single most limiting factor in any development is time. The more time you put in, the better you get. Think about it. I'm talking any aspect of what you guys do, any activity. Or what you do with time. Do you waste it, run out of it, not stay in it long enough to ever see your full potential? Lots of people quit before they ever see how good they could have been at something. So when you're young, you think you have all the time in the world, and I'm telling you right now, you don't. I told your coaches today from the athletics sector, I said, you know, the average high school sports season is 70 to 84 days, 10 to 12 weeks. Every day counts and every day matters. So I've been studying the effect of drugs for 10 years. I could start by just saying this to you without any scientific background, even if you never studied any of this. Do you really think there could be any positive effects of alcohol or marijuana on physical performance or mental performance? Because in the 10 years we've been looking at this in depth, we haven't found one yet. Not one single positive effect. They're all negative. Start by thinking about this. Before alcohol on the top, after administering alcohol. On the bottom, marijuana, before, after. These drugs are depressant drugs that shut down brain activity. So as far as alcohol, here's some things we discovered. These are brain scans of 15 or 16-year-old kids from a study, a landmark study on the effects on thinking skills. So if you're in an academic club or some club where you have to use your mental powers, think of this, and all athletes do, believe me. 15-year-old kids, to get in the study, you had to be 15 or 16. You had to have been drunk already 100 times in your life. On top here, we have a 15-year-old that doesn't use alcohol and never has. Look at the amount of brain activity generated in a simple memory task. Okay? This is a heavy alcohol-using 15 or 16-year-old doing the same memory task. Look at the brain activity. It's not there. It's gone. And I looked at hundreds and hundreds of these slides. They're all the same. Here's another slide. This is a brain's volume size, meaning when you drink alcohol, your brain shrinks in size. Healthy 21-year-old, heavy alcohol-using 21-year-old. Black is space, okay? Blue is brain tissue. Look how the brain is shrunk in size. You know, that's what alcohol can do for your brain. Just like if we put a cast on our arm or leg and leave it on for 6 or 8 weeks for a bone to heal, you get the cast off and you have a big arm and a small arm, a big leg or a small leg. Muscle atrophies, alcohol atrophies brain tissue. That's 21 years old. But the best thing we've got so far to even show damage to parents and kids is this. It's called the Spec Scan. There's 4 different views. Looking down on the brain, by your forehead, the bottom of your brain, deep inside the brain, and the side of your brain. They're done in 3 labs in the U.S., and these are some of those scans. There's a healthy brain looking down on the brain, so we'd be looking down on the top of the head. Let's look at alcohol. These are the 4 scans. Healthy 17-year-old brain, non-alcohol user. This is a heavy alcohol-using 17-year-old's brain. Those areas that look like holes aren't holes. They're areas of decreased or lowered activity. All right? So that just means that your brain doesn't work in those areas anymore like it used to. We did a muscle enzyme study in 2004, finished it in 2005, and proved that every time you get drunk, you lose as much as 14 days of training effect. There's a banner outside that will remind all of you student athletes about that. It's the biggest thing that's ever been discovered about this topic. It was all based on hormonal and muscle enzyme studies. Think of all the stuff you guys do in 14 days of training. And don't forget the first 2 weeks of preseason. I talked to your coaches about it today. Because for 14 steps forward, if you're not doing it, go out and get drunk on one weekend after the game, you go 14 steps backward. And you're wasting your time. But you're not just wasting your time, you're wasting your teammates' time. And I'm going to tell you why. Individual decisions affect group outcomes. You're doing something that's holding back other people and affecting other people. So you guys on the team that don't do this stuff, start calling the guys on your team who are doing it. I'm telling you this right now, you guys, any of you kids in this room who are already into the party scene, you walk away from it right now, find some new friends, make some different choices. And if those people that you used to hang with don't want to honor you for it, and that's probably the way it'll be, they weren't your buddies anyway. That's a fact. Make your own decisions. Don't do what everybody else does. And you watch your life take off. That's what it's all about.